I wanted to kill Muslims. Now I am one. That is fucking crazy. So let's get right into it.
I get a knock at the door and hear two guys in a suit. I'm from the FBI. The first thing I have to say is, what took you guys so long? I told them the truth. I was gonna make my own IED, and I was gonna set across the Islamic Center over in a bank's parking lot, and I was gonna dial it in and just watch the show.
Wait, what did he just say? He was gonna what?
Blow up a mosque.
He was gonna blow up a mosque, and he's just saying that?
Yeah. Let's go, come on.
What the fuck? That's like...
Growing up, I saw a movie and it was Rambo. Rambo was tough, respected. He had intestinal fortitude. I said, that's what I want to do. I went off and joined the Marine Corps.
Looks like Cullen.
I wanted the action. The first time I got shot at, I remember looking at my watch and I says, man, this time last year I was in English class. I fought several times in the Middle East, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, South America, Philippines, Somalia. I think the worst things that I have seen is dead children. I had to suck it up. I had to be there for my guys. Each one of those teardrops stands for a confirmed kill. I stopped adding after 26. Where I was taught, Marine Corps, just own it and then let it go. But there comes a time when there's too much of that and you can't turn it off anymore.
I want you to give me a window into your state of mind at that time.
Wow, that is so sad. Tattooing on your body the people you kill, that's just like horrible. Like that's just, I just would never want to look at life like that. That's crazy shit. Yeah, that would fuck me up too, man.
One time, my wife and I went to a DSW, and I saw in the distance these two women in black burqas in my store. I cried as I prayed for enough strength to go over there and break both their necks. I was just angry. I was just full of hate, and it just fed off itself. At that point, I was drinking a half gallon of vodka every 2 days. I had devised a plan, create my own IED, homemade bomb, and I was gonna set it off right outside the Muncie Islamic Center. 200 plus killed or injured. That was the plan. I saw an opportunity to do one last thing for my country. This was my rationale. I knew I would end up in a federal prison with a needle in my arm. I didn't care my hatred of Islam. It was the only thing that was keeping me alive. So one day my daughter comes home, second grade maybe. She was telling me about this little boy who sat across from her. His mom came to get him. She said she had scarves on her and she had a dress all the way down to her feet and you couldn't see her on nothing but her eyeballs. At that point I snapped, started spewing things out of my mouth that should never be said in front of children or anything. She didn't say anything. It was the look on her face. I remember my daughter looking at me like I was absolutely the craziest person on the face of the earth. She was my little buddy. Yeah, she used to say we were road dogs. I know, I saw it in her eyes. I made her question that love. And that's when the light bulb came on. I decided to give the people of this community one more chance. So I went to the Islamic Center, see a gentleman in the shoe room taking off his shoes. He looks at me and he smiles. He said, can I help you? And I said, yeah, I want you to teach me about Islam. So he went and he gave me a Quran. Read this, come back when you have questions. So I did. And I would see things in the book. I'd be like, there it is. I got him right there. Explain that to me. And they would. This was a kind of awakening. Long story short, 8 weeks after that first day I stepped into the Islamic Center, I became a Muslim.
How the God, he became president of the Muncie Islamic Center 3 years later.
I love how he went, I'd ask him, explain this, and they would. That's funny. This is a crazy story.
But that is like the most open-minded, like light fucking switch changing.
Like looking at your kid.
How do you go from planning to murder 200 plus innocent people, women, children, old people, men, fathers, to being even being able to say, like, you know, you're still trying to catch them, like, but even being able to have a conversation with them. That leap alone is the most amazing thing for a human human being to be able to do, no matter who you perceive your enemy to be.
That's crazy.
Amazing. This is crazy. I hope this is true. I'd be so heartbroken if it wasn't.
A veteran, and a proud American. I had learned that I was completely wrong about everything that I felt. You know, Judaism had a message, Christianity had a message, Islam had a message. Funny thing is, though, it was the same message. It was about peace, and it was about love.
Please join me in welcoming Mr. McKinney.
My big thing is now to stop the hate. Nothing good has ever come out of hatred. I've done too many things. I've hurt a lot of people. I have to live with that. But if I can stop somebody else on the path of non-forgiveness, I won.
God damn, that is a crazy story. I can't believe he was like genuinely planning to plant a bomb. That's a wild thought.
I don't even know what to say to that, except like I said, it's just amazing that somebody's heart can be changed that much, that they can not only sit with their enemy, perceived enemy, but become their enemy once they realize that their enemy is not an enemy at all.
That's some Matrix. It's the Matrix. That's like, this is exactly what we talk about, where it's like, why do you have these thoughts? You can't even rationalize or explain why. It's just like implanted in your brain. So you have to step back and really think about this stuff. It's crazy. And it goes deeper than just Islam.
You refuse to rationalize
This is just another thing that I'm looking into. I'm like, wow, I can't believe Matrix programming got to me in this sense too. You know what I mean? Like it's everywhere.
If we continue on this path where we're learning more and more about this, and for me, it's really being a Christian and really loving the fact of how my Christianity is affecting me. For me, this is really about finding the commonalities right now. I can't wait to watch this again in a year and see what we think when we know more, and we have evolved. I would like to watch this exact video in a year because I feel like I'll have a lot more to say about it. What really matters is that a violent, angry person became a loving, accepting person. And that's about tolerance. So that was a Christian whose tolerance taught him that Islam is a good thing. Tate needs to see that. That's what Christianity does.
You know what's crazy is that he mentioned how they all believe in the same thing, essentially. And I've just never heard that from any other religion. I've never heard that this is like a totally new thing to me, is like you believe in the same thing. Like I've always looked at different religions like Islam as like you literally believe in a whole different God. I didn't know Jesus was in the Quran or even the most spoken about prophet in the Quran.
But even with Judaism and Christianity, I always knew that we were basically believed in the same God. And the Christians, we believe the Old Testament. The Jews just stop at the Old Testament and they believe that Jesus. I didn't even know exactly what they believe about Jesus. They just don't believe that he was the Messiah from God. But learning more about Christianity now, and and I say it again and again, I love the TV show The Chosen. It starts with when Jesus hits the scene as an adult and the impact he makes, and there's so much Old Testament and Judaism in there, and so much more that it's making me feel more connected with the Jewish religion also, in a way that some of the things I knew, but it is going so much deeper for me learning about the Old Testament. And when you watch that, you think your mind is bugging out now, you're gonna be like, holy shit, and you're gonna see all these dots connecting and all these religions and how we're all just so divided for no reason. Is Christianity the one? Is Judaism the one? Is Islam the one? Maybe there's a fourth religion where it's all everybody combined that we haven't seen yet. We don't know. So, what does Tate say about Islam? It's the last
religion.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know. He doesn't have a crystal ball. There might be something past this where we're all really, truly together.
Yeah, if you guys want to drop videos for us to react to, you can post it inside of my Discord server. I have a whole channel just for you to post videos to react to. That's where I found this video.
Drop a sub. We want to hear from you guys. We want to talk more about this.
Drop a sub, and I'll see you later.
Oh my God.